All right, so for this one, man, I just wanted to give y'all, this is about game. And this is just something that I want y'all to understand for all my guys out there that's in the game, all my ladies out there that's in the game. You know, what you got to understand, especially for my dudes out there who are out there that I work a lot. I work with a lot of guys. And what happens is you'll be in the game learning different things about how to attract a wonderful woman into your life, and then you'll find that wonderful woman in your life, and then you become so entangled in a relationship with her that you begin to lose the principles that you initially had. She might be out of pocket, she might disrespect you, or you guys might not be on the same page, and you might find yourself becoming more and more attached to her. You might find yourself doing things that you might not have done before. And then what happens a lot of the time is you might have went into a scenario wanting to get a beautiful woman, not wanting to have kids, not wanting to be married necessarily, not wanting to be entangled in the situation, but next thing you know, you are. And then what happens a lot of the time is uh, guys give away, guys spend so much time studying game to get this woman, but then they let the game go to keep this woman. And what happens is when you let the game go and you let go of principles of the game to keep your mate happy or to compromise or come to this medium with your mate, what you got to realize is that the game is what helped you get this woman. The game is what got you this woman. Your knowledge of life, your knowledge of the game, your knowledge. It wasn't her. She wasn't the one that gave you the game and said, "Hey, this is how you get me," or "This is how this is how you're gonna get me to buy in." She didn't spend those nights learning. She didn't spend the time going out into the field. She didn't spend those nights learning about how the game can bring you good and bad, learning about female nature, male nature, female dynamics, like things like this, the light side, the dark side of it all. Like, it's deep when we talk about a connection. And game gives you all these principles so that you know how to navigate. She's not going to give you those things. It's your knowledge of those things that's going to allow you to have her and have a long, successful relationship. So there's going to be times where she tests you, and it's going to be those tests where it's like you can either continue to go on your path of what you've learned and trust what you know, but you're going to lose me. Or you can take the path that I want you to take and you can keep me because we'll be on that path together. Basically, she'll put you in a position where you have to compromise. And in that moment, you have to understand that you can't let nothing make you compromise the things that make you strong. You can't make nothing that she does make you compromise what you know in the game. The decisions that you know to make, you can't compromise because if you do, you'll lose her and you'll lose your game. And when I say lose your game, you lose your respect for yourself. Versus you stay true to the game and you might lose her, but you'll always have somebody else. Because as long as you stay true to the principles of the game, you'll always have an abundance of women in your life. But if you let all of that go for one woman, eventually you'll end up losing that woman and you'll end up losing that respect for yourself. And she'll lose respect for you because she knows you, the person she met that stood on those principles. When you two finally break apart, that's not the same guy she breaks up with. And that's what happens to guys that let go of the game. That they're in the game and then they get their girl. They're like, "Yeah, man, I'm out. I'm letting it all go, and I'm about to just settle down and blah blah blah." And what I really see from that is, it's a scenario where they forget. They forget what was really serving them and helping them rise. Now, at a certain level, somebody might be like, "Well, the game isn't serving me no more because I'm in a relationship." But see, the game will always serve you because even in a relationship, it requires you even more game, even more knowledge of life and relationship and social dynamics and about the male and female. So you always want to be learning more and more in the game and growing. And you never want to give that up all of a sudden and think, "Oh, I have her and everything's all good now." No, the game doesn't stop just because she's your girlfriend. Doesn't mean that the test don't continue, that you could still lose her, that attraction could become less over time. You have to continue to stay strong, continue to be attractive, continue to keep your communication up, continue to go out there and create the things that you want in life, continue to have beautiful people that you're around. All of that keeps the attraction going. If you sacrifice that stuff and become a hermit, become and start growing your dad bod, packing everything up, things will still continue, but you just gotta understand that she won in that scenario. And once she wins, she's gonna create her own test for you and her own little games in order to, you know, make sure she has control. At that point, it becomes a situation where you're controlled, like a puppy or a dog or animal. And once you get to that point, it's when it gets really bad because that's when you start to feel like a shell of yourself. You feel like she's officially betaized you, as some people would say. So this is really goes out to my guys that were already winners out there in the field, and then they get challenged by this one girl that they really have a liking for. What do I do? Do I stop talking to girls? Do I change my ways? Should I do this thing that she suggested that I don't really feel fully comfortable about? This is where you start facing those scenarios. And what I want you to understand is that you don't compromise, and you always look to the game and say, what move should I make based on what will keep me in my power, what will allow me to not disrespect myself, or allow me to not shrink myself, And even though she might be really upset, because you didn't agree with her and you decide to stick with your guns, you decide to stick to what is true based on the game and based on your man principles, what will happen is after she's upset with you and after she challenges you and might argue, if you stay on your ground, she's going to have more respect for you after. And then she's going to grow more love for you because she's going to see that you didn't compromise yourself or your principles. And then she's going to gain more and more respect for you because she sees that you're a real guy, because that's what a real man is, someone that sticks to his principles. Even though we grow and evolve and change things, the key is to not compromise what you know is true and what you know works and what you know allows you to stay in your masculinity and power. So, stay true to yourself, stay true to your masculine energy, stay true to your feminine energy as well. It's both in you, but in a relationship, the male can a lot of the time become pushed more and more into his feminine side to the point where he's not in his masculine power anymore, and he almost becomes more passive aggressive, or not even more passive aggressive, just more passive, just more doing things he doesn't want to do, being in places he doesn't want to be, not doing the things that made him a fly motherfucker. Don't fall in that trap, because that's what happens in a lot of relationships. You just become comfortable. Continue to stay attractive, continue to push yourself, and remember, she didn't give you the game, but the game helped you get her, and the game will get you more and more. But she will never get you the game. She never got you the game. There's many women that helped you learn the game. So continue to communicate with many women. Continue to learn more and more about the game, and it will serve you because it will help you become more knowledgeable. You continue to be tested. You continue to deal with that polarity between the male and female. It's just going to make you more powerful and more sharp. So don't compromise the game, y'all. Don't focus on her. Focus on the game, because the game got you the girl. The girl didn't get you the game. 5dtransformationalcoaching.com. Let's get some personal coaching in. And also check out Loving the 5D. We break down attraction at the highest level between the male and female on there. You'll know everything you need to know to get any girl you ever want to get, and beyond, and how to build any beautiful relationship you want. It's in Loving the 5D. So go check that out. And aside from that, visit 5dtransformationalcoaching.com. Leave your questions and comments below. Let's keep it flowing, y'all. This is God Jani. Let the God within you shine bright. Peace.